morning. So I am Nikki Dej, and you are watching Talks from the Dash. And this is video number 2 because again, apparently I need 50 subscribers to be able to do live. So we'll get there. But good morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot, and I am late. Well, I'm not late, but I would have liked to be at work earlier. But here I am. So usually I'm in the office by 7:40 at the latest, and then I don't actually start working. Well, I prepare for work, but work doesn't start till 8:20. Anyhow, I normally get up at 4 a.m., but if you remember from yesterday, I haven't been feeling well, so I slept in a little bit later. But typically I get up at 4, I pray and read my Bible for an hour, and then I work out, and then I make breakfast, so I can eat breakfast at home, and I didn't do that today neither, so my stomach is feeling it. We are used to eating breakfast, and I'm hungry. And then I usually shower and get my clothes ready and get out the door. So today is not my usual schedule. But that's okay. Here I am. So let me update you about my soup, okay? So I made the lentil soup, and again, if you want that recipe, that soup is so yummy. I made the lentil soup last night, and usually I'll add some balsamic vinegar to my own bowl, my individual bowl. But, and I did that, right? I did do that. So I grabbed the balsamic vinegar out the cabinet, and I kind of looked at it. It was like $3.65, the Whole Foods brand. I think that's their brand. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like the same balsamic vinegar that I normally use, but I'll go ahead and use it. So first red flag there. Second red flag was when I couldn't even open it. I couldn't open it, and I was like, okay, this is strange. I made this soup maybe a month ago. Why is this? That's the last time I used it, but I've never had any issues with not being able to open it before. So I continue to try really, really hard to open it, and nothing is not giving at all. So I handed it to my husband. Well, he actually reached for it, like, I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna open this. Right? Okay, great. I'm the damsel in distress, so please open my bottle of balsamic vinegar so I can eat my soup. Well, he could not open it neither, and he tried, and he is usually really, really good at opening jars or whatever. So that was really the second red flag. Normally we use a wet washcloth, and that would do the trick. Hitting the bottom of it, whatever. None of that was working. So he decides, so I was like, well, run it under hot water. He decided not to do that. Now, mind you, this is a glass bottle. And so he's like, no, I'm just gonna go get my pliers and, open it like that, even though warming it under the hot water would, decrease the risk of the glass breaking. So anyhow, he goes and gets his pliers and twists it off, and he comes back and the jar is open, or the bottle's open, right? So I'm like, okay, great, thanks honey, you're the best. And I'm still like, okay, you're still, still strange, but yeah, okay. So I end up pouring it in, and when I poured it in, I was like, okay. Now, mind you, you guys, I saw it looked like it had little cruddy stuff in it or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, it's fine, right? It's fine. That happens over some period of time, which apparently it does. So I pour some in. The cruddy stuff doesn't go with it because there's like a filter at the top. So anyways, stir it into my soup, and I eat my soup, and it's nasty. Mind you, I had already taken a few bites prior to adding this into it, and when I ate some after adding the balsamic vinegar, I was like, okay, this is nasty. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna eat it anyway, right? Just playing. So I look at the bottle, and I was like, well, let me check the expiration date, you guys. Go ahead and judge me now, okay? So the expired in 2019. Expired in 2019. Now, mind you, there's some things that they're like, oh, best by date and expiration date, but really it can keep longer. But you guys, 2019, that's crazy. Now, we don't use balsamic vinegar all the time, and I'm not the type of person that's like, I'm going to go through my cabinets every week and get rid of expired things. Now, we do that at the office, but it's not something I do in my home, like get rid of expired seasonings and whatnot. But anyways, so I did pour all of it out, and I threw out the soup, the bowl of soup I had, and I poured the balsamic vinegar in the sink and threw, the bottle out in the trash. Okay, so then I go back into the cabinet, and I find the balsamic vinegar that I'm used to, that we've been using. And so my husband's looking at me like, really? You made me go through all that work and you don't even have the right bottle? So I was like, I just wanted you to, show me your strength. Anyway, so I got another bowl of soup, add this balsamic vinegar into it, and everything worked out well. All right, so that is my story from my soup experience. And thankfully, I don't feel any worse. So anyhow, I want to talk to you all today about pet peeves. Oh, I do have a question. Do you go through your cabinet and empty out all your expired seasonings and things of that sort? Now, I do that in my refrigerator, but do you go through your cabinet and do it on a regular basis? Okay, so pet peeves. Pet peeves. I have a few pet peeves, and I'm bringing this up because it bothered me yesterday. One, I'm gonna talk about two pet peeves, and I would like you to share your pet peeves with me. So the first one is, if I'm at work, just in general, like with my kids, with my husband, like anybody, right? Like people that's close to me. If I'm talking to like a friend or somebody by text and they don't get back to me, okay, cool, no problem. I don't get back to them right away neither. But when I'm talking to my husband, talking to my children, talking to somebody at work, and I send you a Teams message asking you to do something, I would like some type of acknowledgement. Give me a thumbs up, give me something to let me know that you received the message, because then I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs like, okay, like, did she get it? What, like, is it being done? Like, well, maybe I should just do it myself. Maybe I should. Now, mind you, in my position, it's not, I will do things myself. I'll get up and do things. Nothing's beneath me, just so you know. But there are other staff members that are actually tasked to do certain things. So, and I'm in a position where I can ask them to do those things. So just like, give me a thumbs up that it was done, like, or that you're going to do it, that you got my message, something, so I'm not wondering. So sometimes I'll like send the person a message and I don't get anything. And this is usually not this doesn't usually happen often, because when we all started here, I made it a point. I verbalized that this is a pet peeve. So they're really usually good about giving me some type of thumbs up or acknowledging that I sent a message. So, but this kind of stems from yesterday, right? So anyways, if they don't respond, then I will then put it in the big group chat. And I might say something like, does someone mind doing X, Y, and Z? Because maybe they actually did not see the message because they're not at their computer. So then let me ask somebody else to do it. And so I'll sit in the big group chat, and then maybe I'll get a message like, oh yes, I had that, but I saw you send that message, but I was in the middle of X, Y, and Z. And I'm not saying like they need to respond to me right away, because I understand that they're doing things. But if 10 minutes passes by and I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're really busy and they haven't been back to their computer, or maybe they got my message and they've completed the task and I just don't know about it because they haven't like updated me. My husband is really, he's improving. Anyhow, so that's one pet peeve. Another pet peeve, because I do work in healthcare, we see patients and stuff like that. I have a pet peeve of, please don't be this patient. Please don't be this patient, okay? Look at it from the healthcare provider's perspective. You have an appointment, you come into the appointment, you've called to schedule the appointment, and you said that your complaint was this, and maybe you named a second thing. Then you come into the appointment, and then you have a list of 5 to 10 things that you want to discuss. I understand you probably want to, when you call, you probably were like, well, I don't want to like bombard them with all these things that I have, but based on what you told them will determine what type of slot they put you in. Is it going to be a 15-minute slot because you're just coming in because you have flu-like symptoms? Or does it need to be a 30-minute slot because you're coming in because you have confusion, or whatever the case is, right? So if you tell us that it's 1 or 2 things that are like minor, and we put you in a 15 or 20-minute slots, then first of all, me personally, I don't think anybody can really give true, good, quality care in 15 minutes, but no one asked me. But if we put you in okay, you guys, my nose is running. Let's pause. All right. Thank God for tissues in the car and hand sanitizer. So anyhow, yeah, so if you tell me 1 or 2 things and we put you in a 20-minute slot, and you come in, you have a lot of complaints, then you're not going to get the quality care that you need to address all those complaints. So typically you may be asked to come back, so those other things can be addressed, which you don't want to do. People don't have all this time to be taking off work, or some people don't have transportation, some people don't have PTO. So I personally understand that. So I would recommend that you let the receptionist know, hey, I have quite a few things I need to discuss with the provider, and so she can put you in the appropriate slot, and you can get the quality care that you deserve to address those multiple issues. I would recommend you starting off with the thing that's the most important. So if time does not permit, the thing that was not urgent is left to be addressed at another visit, but again, it's not urgent. So urgent matters, definitely make those top priority. So that is a pet peeve of mine, when patients come in, they claim they had 1 or 2 concerns, and then they come in with 5 to 10 concerns, and I am not exaggerating. Okay, they come in with 5 to 10 concerns, and they expect you to spend like an hour and a half with them addressing their 5 to 10 concerns, and that's not realistic. It's not realistic. And I personally care about all the patients, so I do want to give all of our patients, whether I'm receptionist or nurse or provider or RN, whatever it is the case, the quality care that they need and that they deserve. So yeah, so anyway, just let the receptionist know so they can put you in the right time slot. And I don't like people to feel rushed. You don't want to feel rushed. But you do want to feel like you're the most important person to that office at the time that you're there, because all attention should be on you. Anyhow, so that's my pet peeve. there. So I am pretty much at work. I did not expect this to be as long as it was. So I am going to end here and we'll pick up this afternoon. Have a good day at your own job.